Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Aditi Lumba with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs meeting of all political parties from Jammu and Kashmir in national capital, terms it as an important step in ongoing efforts towards a developed and progressive Jammu and Kashmir. Home Minister Amit Shah says centre is committed to ensure all-round development of Jammu and Kashmir. Prime Minister asserts that tradition and technology will boost initiative of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Over 30 crore doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. National recovery rate reaches 96.61%. Health Ministry says more than 1 crore 89 lakh COVID vaccine doses are still available with states and union territories. Vaccines distributed to states in transparent manner based on population of state, caseload and other factors, says government. Education Minister R.P. Nishank to interact virtually with students at 4 p.m. tomorrow on evaluation of CBSE board examinations. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari inaugurates and lays foundation stones of several road projects worth over 6,000 crore rupees in Himachal Pradesh. New Delhi says India supports all peace initiatives in Afghanistan. And in Euro Cup football, France, Germany, Portugal, Sweden and Spain cruise into round of 16 stage. As the nation gears up for free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years, we advise our listeners to get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 4 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene and get vaccinated. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline numbers 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today chaired an all-party meeting with political leaders from Jammu and Kashmir in the national capital. The meeting was attended by leaders from various political parties, including National Conference leaders Dr. Farooq Abdullah and Umar Abdullah, Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad, PDP leader Mehbooba Mufti, Home Minister Amit Shah, Jammu and Kashmir Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha, BJP Jammu and Kashmir President Ravinder Raina and People's Conference President Sajjad Lone. This was the first such meeting after the 5th of August 2019 when the centre decided to abrogate Article 370 of the Constitution that gave Jammu and Kashmir a special status. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said delimitation has to happen at a quick pace so that polls can happen and J&K gets an elected government that gives strength to J&K's development trajectory. In a series of tweets, Mr. Modi said today's meeting with political leaders from Jammu and Kashmir is an important step in the ongoing efforts towards a developed and progressive J&K where all-round growth is furthered. He added that the priority is to strengthen grassroots democracy in J&K. He said India's democracy's biggest strength is the ability to sit across a table and exchange views. The Prime Minister told the leaders of J&K that it is the people, especially the youth, who have to provide political leadership to Jammu and Kashmir and ensure their aspirations are duly fulfilled. Home Minister Amit Shah has said the centre is committed to ensure all-round development of Jammu and Kashmir. In a series of tweets after Prime Minister Narendra Modi's all-party meeting with J&K leaders, Mr. Shah said the future of Jammu and Kashmir was discussed and the delimitation exercise and peaceful elections are important milestones in restoring statehood as promised in Parliament. He said today's meeting was conducted in a very cordial environment and everyone expressed their commitment to democracy and the Constitution. It was stressed to strengthen the democratic process in Jammu and Kashmir. Talking to reporters after the meeting, Jammu and Kashmir BJP President Ravinder Raina said the Prime Minister assured all the leaders that the government is committed for the development and better future of Jammu and Kashmir. Senior Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad said his party demanded restoration of statehood and assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir. Former Chief Minister and National Conference Chief Farooq Abdullah also demanded restoration of full statehood of Jammu and Kashmir. Muzaffar Hussain Beg of PDP informed that the Prime Minister said the exercise of delimitation has to finish first, and after that the issue of statehood and other issues can be taken up. People's Conference leader Sajjad Lone said the meeting was held in a very cordial manner. Meanwhile, yesterday, the Election Commission held virtual discussions with its representatives in Jammu and Kashmir and deputy commissioners regarding the delimitation of the 90 assembly constituencies in the Union Territory. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said delimitation process will have to be completed quickly to conduct assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir. Briefing media after the all-party meeting this evening, Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh said talks were held in a very conducive atmosphere. He said the Prime Minister listened to every suggestion and praised everyone for keeping their points openly. Mr. Modi said in the meeting that everyone has to work together to strengthen democracy at the grassroots level. Dr. Singh said this is a positive effort towards giving development and strengthening democracy in Jammu and Kashmir. He said everyone showed their loyalty towards Indian democracy and the Constitution.
डिलिमिटेशन की प्रक्रिया को तेजी से पूरा करना होगा ताकि हर क्षेत्र, हर वर्ग को पर्याप्त राजनीतिक प्रतिनिधित्व विधानसभा में प्राप्त हो सके। विशेष रूप से दलितों, पिछड़ों, जनजातीय क्षेत्रों के साथियों को एक उचित प्रतिनिधित्व देना आवश्यक है। आज की बैठक में प्रधानमंत्री जी ने इस बात पर भी जोर दिया कि जम्मू कश्मीर को शांति और समृद्धि के पथ पर ले जाने के लिए ऐसे ही सभी स्टेक होल्डर्स को मिलकर साथ चलना होगा। आज की ये बैठक जम्मू कश्मीर में लोकतंत्र को मजबूती देने और जम्मू कश्मीर के विकास और समृद्धि के लिए एक महत्वपूर्ण कदम है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that tradition and technology is the strength of Atmanirbhar Bharat. He said toys and games combine tradition and technology, and the country's capabilities in gaming and toys are continuously increasing. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today interacted with participants of Toykathon 2021. It was launched to conceptualize innovative toys based on the Indian value system, which will inculcate positive behavior and good values among children.
इस चुनौतीपूर्ण समय में देश के पहले टॉयकेथॉन का आयोजन इसी भावना को मजबूत करता है। इस टॉयकेथॉन में हमारे बाल मित्रों से लेकर युवा साथियों, टीचर, स्टार्टअप और उद्यमियों ने भी बहुत उत्साह से हिस्सा लिया है। पहली बार ही 1,500 से ज्यादा टीमों का ग्रैंड फिनाले में शामिल होना, ये अपने आप में उज्जवल भविष्य के संकेत देता है। ये टॉयज और गेम्स के मामले में आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान को भी मजबूती देता है।
Mr. Modi said today the world wants to understand art, culture, society and the potential of India in a better way. He said our toys and game industry can play a big role in this. He urged on the need to develop such games and toys which promote human welfare. He said most of the online or digital games available in the market today are not Indian in concept. Highlighting the importance of hackathons in solving the country's problems, Mr. Modi said hackathons have provided a big and unique platform to solve the problems of the country. He said with the help of hackathons, the country gets a better solution, and this is also the purpose of this first Toykathon. Stressing on the need of toyconomy, the Prime Minister said the global toys and games market is worth $100 billion. The Prime Minister also stressed on the mantra vocal for local and urged all to buy Indian toys and games.
खिलौनों से जुड़े सेक्टर के विकास से ऐसी महिलाओं के साथ ही देश के दूर दराज इलाकों में रहने वाले हमारे आदिवासी और गरीब साथियों को भी बहुत लाभ होगा। लेकिन ये तभी संभव है जब हम अपने लोकल खिलौनों के लिए वोकल होंगे। लोकल के लिए वोकल होना जरूरी है। कलाकारों को कैसे नई टेक्नोलॉजी, नई मार्केट डिमांड के अनुसार तैयार करें, ये भी आवश्यक है।
Appreciating the innovative ideas of the participants, Mr. Modi also shared his valuable ideas and suggestions for designing and conceptualizing innovative games. Highlighting the importance of yoga, the Prime Minister said that the practice of yoga has increased and these innovative toys and games will promote yoga. Toycathon 2021 was jointly launched by the Ministry of Education, Women and Child Development Ministry, Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Ministry, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Textile Ministry, Information and Broadcasting Ministry, and All India Council for Technical Education on the 5th of January this year.
India has administered 64.89 lakh vaccine doses to eligible beneficiaries in the last 24 hours. With this, over 30.16 crore vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. The Health Ministry in a statement said the country has reported 54,069 new cases in the last 24 hours. The active caseload in the country has further declined to reach 6,27,000. Over 68,000 patients also recovered during the last 24 hours, taking total recoveries to more than 2,90,63,000. The ministry added that daily recoveries continue to outnumber the daily new cases for the 42nd consecutive day. The country has registered further improvement in the recovery rate, which has now increased to 96.61%. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry has said more than 1,89 lakh COVID vaccine doses are still available with states and union territories. To be administered to beneficiaries, the ministry said the central government has provided over 30,33 lakh COVID vaccine doses to states and union territories so far. The ministry has assured that over 21 lakh 5,000 vaccine doses will be provided to states and union territories within the next 3 days.
The government has dismissed media reports which allege new non-transparent allocation of COVID-19 vaccines to states. The Health Ministry has termed the allegations as baseless, saying the distribution of vaccine is done in a transparent manner based on population of a state, caseload, state utilization efficiency and wastage factors. The ministry clarified that central government continues to allocate COVID-19 vaccines to states and union territories in a transparent manner. The information about the vaccine supply, consumption by the states, balance and unutilized vaccine doses, along with vaccine supply in the pipeline is regularly shared through press releases. It added that the vaccination program is built on scientific and epidemiological evidence, WHO guidelines and global best practices. The External Affairs Ministry today said overseas supply of vaccines from India would depend on vaccine availability and domestic vaccination program. Replying to a query on vaccine export, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said India's position on the issue of vaccine export has been consistent and clear. He said India's priority for the moment remains on utilizing Made in India vaccines for country's own vaccination program, which has received a boost with a new phase of vaccination that was launched earlier this week. Efforts are also being made to further increase domestic vaccine production. Mr. Bagchi added that Centre is making all efforts to augment vaccine availability in the country, be it through domestic production or imports. He said specific vaccines and status of their import to India is a matter for the concerned regulatory authorities.
Indian naval ship Shardul, carrying 7,640 filled oxygen cylinders, 2 ISO containers of 20 metric tons of liquid medical oxygen each, and 15 oxygen concentrators from Kuwait and Qatar arrived at Mumbai port today under Operation Samudra Setu 2. The ship has been deployed for transportation of liquid medical oxygen from Gulf countries. The deployment is being undertaken as part of Operation Samudra Setu 2 launched by the Indian Navy in support of the national effort to fight COVID-19 pandemic. Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister with Higher Education Portfolio Dr. Ashwatha Narayan has tweeted that offline classes for college students will begin only after the completion of the first dose of vaccination for the students in July. Speaking to media persons in Bengaluru today, the minister said teaching staff, non-teaching staff and all students above the age of 18 will be administered vaccine in July. More from our Bengaluru correspondent.
Dr. Ashwath Narayana has said that inoculation campaign will be arranged in the colleges and students will be inoculated based on validation by the respective institutions. Meanwhile, the State Health Minister Dr. K. Sudhakar has said that vaccines are the only solution for corona. He urged people not to believe rumors about vaccine in social media and believe government sources. He emphasized that we must be proud that 2 vaccines are made available within the country. Foreign vaccines are expensive, but the Prime Minister is providing indigenous vaccines at free of cost to everyone. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs meeting of all political parties from Jammu and Kashmir in national capital, terms it as an important step in ongoing efforts towards a developed and progressive Jammu and Kashmir. Home Minister Amit Shah says Centre is committed to ensure all-round development of Jammu and Kashmir. Prime Minister asserts that tradition and technology will boost initiative of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Over 30 crore doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. National recovery rate reaches 96.61%. Health Ministry says more than 1 crore 89 lakh COVID vaccine doses are still available with states and union territories. Vaccines distributed to states in transparent manner based on population of state, caseload and other factors, says government. Education Minister R.P. Nishank to interact virtually with students at 4 p.m. tomorrow on evaluation of CBSE board examinations. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari inaugurates and lays foundation stones of several road projects worth over 6,000 crore rupees in Himachal Pradesh. New Delhi says India supports all peace initiatives in Afghanistan. And in Euro Cup football, France, Germany, Portugal, Sweden and Spain cruise into round of 16 stage. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
The Centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The Child Helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. The Ayush COVID-19 Counselling Helpline number is 14443. And MyGov WhatsApp Help Desk number is 9013151515.
Welcome back to the evening news. Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank will be interacting virtually with students tomorrow to discuss their concerns and queries related to evaluation of CBSE board exams. In a tweet, the minister said students can share their doubts or suggestions through Twitter or Facebook by tomorrow afternoon. Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari inaugurated and laid foundation stones of several road projects through video conferencing from Manali in Kullu district of Himachal Pradesh today. On this occasion, Mr. Gadkari said roads are the prerequisite of overall development of any nation. He said Himachal being a tourist state, better roads in the state would go a long way in tourism promotion. He said within the next 2 years, the travelling distance from between Delhi to Kullu would be reduced to 7 hours. This would give big boost to tourism development in the state. He assured that all the roads, foundation stones of which were laid today, would be completed within a stipulated time period. Mr. Gadkari said road projects worth 15,000 crore rupees would be awarded to Himachal Pradesh this year.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will be leaving tomorrow for a visit to Greece and Italy. Briefing media, External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bakshi said that during the 2-day visit to Greece, Dr. Jaishankar will meet his counterpart. This is the first visit at the External Affairs Minister level since 2003. After Greece, the minister will travel to Italy to attend the G20 ministerial meeting. These include the meetings related to foreign ministerial level as well as the development ministers level. The External Affairs Ministry today said India supports all peace initiatives in Afghanistan and has a long-term commitment towards development and reconstruction of Afghanistan. Briefing media in New Delhi, Ministry spokesperson Arindam Bakshi said India remains in touch with various stakeholders including regional countries.
Our perspective on Afghanistan has been enunciated on various occasions. India supports all peace initiatives and has a long-term commitment towards development and reconstruction of Afghanistan. In this context, we remain in touch with various stakeholders, including regional countries.
On Pakistan Foreign Minister's comments on India's role in Afghanistan, Mr. Bagchi said, India firmly believes that it is for the Afghan people to decide their partners and the size of that partnership. He said India has brought electricity, dams, schools, health clinics, roads and community projects to Afghanistan, but the world knows what Pakistan has brought to Afghanistan. The spokesperson added that India desires normal relations with all neighbours, including Pakistan. Replying to a query on China, Mr. Bagchi said, it is well recognized that Chinese actions over the last year have seriously disturbed peace and tranquility in the border areas. Briefing media this evening, Ministry spokesperson Narendra Bagchi said these acts are in violation of bilateral agreements, including 1993 and 1996 agreements.
Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has flagged concerns over the increasing crude oil prices and its impact on consumers as well as on smart economic recovery. He emphasized that high crude prices are adding significant inflationary pressure on India. The minister stated this during a high-level consultation meeting with OPEC Secretary General Dr. Mohammad Sanusi Barkindo today. Both sides discussed recent oil market developments, trends in oil demand recoveries, economic growth forecasts, and overcoming energy challenges, among other issues of mutual interest. Mr. Pradhan reiterated his request of phasing out production cuts and also emphasized that crude prices should remain within a reasonable band, which will be in the collective interest of both consumers and producers. He also conveyed his deep appreciation to OPEC, Secretary General and key partner countries for their support to India during the second wave of the COVID pandemic. Mr. Pradhan expressed happiness at OPEC's analysis, which shows that India will be the fastest growing emerging market economy in 2021. Minister for Ports, Shipping and Waterways Mansukh Mandavia said that the development of the country depends on the development of states, and Maritime State Development Council is the best example of cooperative federalism. Mr. Mandavia said this while chairing the 18th meeting of the Maritime State Development Council today. The minister requested state governments to see the Indian Port Bill 2021 as a development issue and not as a political issue. He highlighted that the bill will facilitate to have optimum management and utilization of the coastline by way of participation of the Union Government and maritime states and Union territories. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has expressed happiness that public broadcasters All India Radio and Doordarshan News continue to retain high public trust as news brand in India. The public broadcasters All India Radio and DD News, along with print brands, have retained high levels of trust among consumers. This is revealed in the 10th edition of Reuters Institute for the Study of Journalism's Digital News Report 2021.
मैं दूरदर्शन और आकाशवाणी के सभी लोगों को बधाई देना चाहता हूं कि एक विश्वसनीयता का नाम है दूरदर्शन, विश्वसनीयता का नाम है ऑल इंडिया रेडियो। इसमें जो न्यूज होते हैं वो सेंसेशनल नहीं होते हैं, इसमें जो खबरें हैं वो बहुत भरोसेमंद होती है और इसलिए अनेक लोग केवल सही खबरें देखने के लिए दूरदर्शन और आकाशवाणी को सुनते हैं।
The central government, state government of Mizoram and the World Bank have signed a $32 million Mizoram Health System Strengthening Project to improve management capacity and quality of health services in Mizoram. The project will strengthen the governance and management structure of the Department of Health and Family Welfare and its subsidiaries. It will also improve the quality and coverage of services delivered by the state government, health systems and investment in a comprehensive quality assurance program which would enable quality certification of health facilities. A key focus will be to strengthen the effectiveness of the state health insurance program and build synergies with Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. The Sensex and the Nifty today closed with gains of more than 0.5%. The domestic stocks rose even amid positive global cues. The Sensex finished above the 52,500 mark, while the Nifty settled near the 15,800 level. The rupee appreciated 12 paise against the US currency
A report from the business world.
The Sensex climbed 393 points, or 0.75%, to end at 52,699. The Nifty also appreciated 104 points, or 0.66%, to settle at 15,790. Gold was trading at 47,160 rupees per 10 grams. Silver prices also climbed 60 rupees to trade around 68,000 rupees per kilogram, and oil prices dipped but still held at multi-year highs. In intraday trade, Brent crude prices were trading around $75 per barrel. Rajesh Lake, AIR News.
In the Euro Cup football, Sweden and Spain cruised into the round of 16 stage after beating their respective teams in the Group E final matches. Sweden registered a 3-2 exciting victory over Poland at St. Petersburg to finish on top of Group E. Poland crashed out of the Euro 2020. In the other game, Spain thrashed Slovakia 5-0 at Seville to set up a last 16 tie with Croatia on Monday night in Copenhagen. With 28 days remaining for the start of the Tokyo Olympics, All India Radio brings a special series on India's medal prospects at the sporting extravaganza. Today we will focus on young shooter Divyansh Singh Panwar.
With his skill and a burning desire to achieve something great for his country, Divyansh is a strong contender for a medal at the Tokyo Olympics.
हर किसी को ये अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिलती ओलंपिक खेलने की, ओलंपिक जाने की। अपनी पूरी जी जान से कोशिश करूंगा ओलंपिक में मेडल लाने की।
With his performances at the 10-meter air rifle event at the junior level, Divyansh showed the world that he is destined to excel. Divyansh bagged 4 gold medals at the ISSF tournament in 2019. Apart from the individual events, Divyansh struck gold for India in the mixed team events. With the support of the Indian government, Divyansh says he wants to perform even better at the Tokyo Olympics. Divyansh's mother speaks proudly of his dedication to the greatest of all sporting events.
दिव्यांश बहुत मेहनत कर रहा है इस समय। सुबह 5:30 बजे उठना, वर्कआउट करना, रेंज जाना, मेडिटेशन करना, उसके बाद जो उनकी प्राइवेट कोच के रेंज है उसमें जाना।
Like any other athlete, Divyansh also has dreamt the Olympic dream.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will likely to have thunderstorm with rain. The temperature will hover between 29 and 37 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. The minimum temperature will be 27 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around 33 degrees. Chennai is expected to have a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will vary between 28 and 37 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have a partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Srinagar will experience partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Temperature will hover between 15 and 29 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. The minimum temperature will be 25 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 38 degrees. Leh is expected to have a mainly clear sky. Gilgit will have a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 15 and 33 degrees Celsius. In Muzaffarabad, sky will be partly cloudy. The minimum temperature will be 17 degrees Celsius and maximum will be around 29 degrees.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi chairs meeting of all political parties from Jammu and Kashmir in national capital, terms it as an important step in ongoing efforts towards a developed and progressive Jammu and Kashmir. Home Minister Amit Shah says Centre is committed to ensure all-round development of Jammu and Kashmir. Prime Minister asserts tradition and technology will boost initiative of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Over 30 crore doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. National recovery rate reaches 96.61%. Health Ministry says more than 1 crore 89 lakh COVID vaccine doses are still available with states and union territories. Vaccines distributed to states in transparent manner based on population of state, caseload and other factors, says government. Education Minister R.P. Nishank to interact virtually with students at 4 p.m. tomorrow on evaluation of CBSE board examinations. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari inaugurates and lays foundation stones of several road projects worth over 6,000 crore rupees in Himachal Pradesh. New Delhi says India supports all peace initiatives in Afghanistan. And in Euro Cup football, France, Germany, Portugal, Sweden and Spain cruise into round of 16 stage. And with that we end the evening news. Good night.